Here's a surprising truth. Seniors over 60 are some of the most frequent flyers today, yet most of them unknowingly walk past travel perks and airport benefits that could save hundreds of dollars and hours of stress. Why? Because airports don't exactly shout about them. They'd rather you stay in long lines, buy overpriced snacks, or pay extra for services you might have been entitled to for free. Take a moment and think about your last airport experience. Did you stand in security for nearly an hour? Did you pay full price for airport parking, shuttles, or food? Or maybe you pushed through a crowded terminal when there was a quieter, more comfortable space you never even knew existed. You're not alone, and that's exactly what this video will fix. Today, we're uncovering 7 hidden airport perks that too many seniors miss, and once you know them, you'll never travel the same way again. These aren't generic tips you've heard before. They're little-known benefits that can make your trips cheaper, safer, and far more enjoyable. Welcome to Senior Travel Adventures, where we help you travel smarter, stress-free, and full of confidence after 60. If you're ready to save money and discover travel the way it should be, tap like right now and subscribe, so you never miss a tip that could completely change your next journey. Let me introduce you to Geraldine Maplewood. She's 67 years old, a retired librarian from a quiet town in Ohio. If you saw her in an airport, you'd probably think she had it all figured out. After all, Geraldine has been traveling for decades. Family trips with her husband, quick flights to visit her daughter in Texas, even a couple of dream vacations to Europe with her book club friends. She's the kind of woman who packs neatly, carries a crossword puzzle in her bag, and always has a small notebook tucked away for observations about the people she meets. But here's the twist. Despite all her experience, Geraldine realized she was making one of the most common travel mistakes seniors fall into, assuming she already knew how airports worked. She thought perks like shortcuts, discounts, and special services were either too expensive, too complicated, or simply reserved for other travelers. What she didn't know is that the airport was full of hidden opportunities she'd been walking past for years. Her wake-up call came during a connecting flight in Dallas. She was exhausted from a long walk between terminals, her carry-on felt heavier than usual, and she paid nearly $20 for a sandwich and a bottle of water. While she sat there, quietly frustrated, she noticed another couple about her age being escorted through the airport on a small cart, smiling and stress-free. A moment later, she overheard a younger traveler bragging about the free meal voucher he received for volunteering to switch flights. Geraldine couldn't help but wonder, how is it that everyone else seems to know these secrets but me? That single trip sparked a new kind of curiosity in her, the same curiosity that once drove her to spend hours digging through library archives. Except now, instead of researching rare books, she began digging into the overlooked details of senior travel. And what she uncovered shocked her: lounges she could access without an expensive membership, senior discounts buried in the fine print of airport shuttle services, medical exemptions that could have saved her stress at security, and even cultural programs offered inside certain airports that she had walked past dozens of times without realizing they were free. Geraldine's story is a mirror for so many seniors. We assume airports are simply stressful, crowded, and expensive, when in reality, they hold perks designed to make our journeys easier, if only we knew where to look. She discovered that age isn't a barrier in travel, it's a key that unlocks doors most younger travelers don't even notice. As we follow Geraldine's discoveries today, you'll see exactly how these 7 hidden airport perks can transform your own travel experience. And who knows, you might even laugh or shake your head at how simple some of them are once you know they exist. Because like Geraldine, you'll realize the airport doesn't have to be a place of stress and frustration. It can be a gateway to comfort, savings, and freedom, if you know where to look. Perk 1. Secret airport lounges seniors never try. When you hear the word airport lounge, what comes to mind? For many seniors, it sounds like an exclusive luxury reserved for first-class passengers or frequent business travelers. Geraldine Maplewood used to think the same. She'd walk past the frosted glass doors, glance at the neatly dressed travelers sipping coffee inside, and assume it was out of reach. But here's the truth most seniors don't realize: you don't need a fancy airline status or an expensive membership to get inside. In fact, with a little know-how, it can cost less than what you'd spend on a mediocre sandwich and coffee in the terminal. On one trip through Atlanta, Geraldine finally decided to ask about lounge access instead of walking by. To her surprise, she learned she could purchase a simple day pass, often for as little as $25.35, and enjoy unlimited snacks, drinks, quiet seating, and even private restrooms. That's less than what she'd been spending on overpriced food in the noisy terminal. Even better, many lounges offer senior-friendly perks, wider chairs, fewer crowds, and some even provide showers or nap pods for longer layovers. For someone who values comfort and dignity while traveling, that small investment completely changed her airport experience. Here's another secret. Certain credit cards with low annual fees quietly include a few free lounge visits each year, even for travelers who don't fly often. Some Medicare Advantage plans also partner with travel programs that extend lounge or travel discounts to seniors, benefits that often go unused because nobody bothers to explain them clearly. Geraldine was stunned to learn she'd been paying more for less, while seniors in the know were relaxing in peace just a few doors away. Imagine the difference. Instead of sitting shoulder to shoulder at a noisy gate with an aching back, you're in a calm, softly lit room with free Wi-Fi, light meals, and space to breathe. You're not fighting for a power outlet to charge your phone or searching for overpriced bottled water. You're refreshed, organized, and ready for your flight. That's what a lounge can offer, and it's not just about comfort, it's about protecting your health and energy on the road. The next time you pass by those doors, don't just assume it's not for you. Ask. Many lounges now sell day passes directly at the entrance, and you might be surprised at how affordable it is. It could easily pay for itself in food, comfort, and stress relief, especially if your flight is delayed or you have a long layover. Have you ever accidentally discovered a hidden lounge or a quiet corner in an airport that made your journey easier? Tell us in the comments. Your story might inspire another senior to rethink how they spend their time before a flight. Perk 2. Priority security lanes few seniors claim. Ask almost any senior what they dread most about airports, and you'll hear the same answer: security lines. The endless shuffle forward, removing shoes, juggling bags, rushing to grab your belongings before the bins pile up behind you, it can feel overwhelming, especially if you have stiff joints, a slower pace, or medications packed in your carry-on. What most people over 60 don't realize is that many airports already have programs and special lanes designed to reduce this stress, yet hardly anyone uses them. Geraldine Maplewood learned this lesson the hard way. On a trip to visit her sister in Florida, she arrived at the airport early, feeling calm and organized. But when she reached the TSA line, her mood changed. The line stretched across the hall, people were impatient, and she felt rushed while trying to remove her cardigan and slip out of her shoes. By the time she made it through, her back ached and she was out of breath. Later that same day, a fellow traveler mentioned she could have used a priority assistance lane, free of charge, simply by asking at the check-in desk. Geraldine was stunned. She had no idea that such a service existed. Here's the truth. Many US airports quietly offer reduced wait or priority lanes for older travelers, often under programs labeled as special assistance. These aren't just for people with visible mobility challenges, they're for anyone who needs extra time, including seniors who don't want to risk a fall or feel rushed in the process. In fact, at some airports, simply requesting passenger assistance when booking your ticket or at the airline counter grants you access to shorter lines and personal guidance through security. And it's not just in the US. In the UK, Canada, and Australia, airports often provide senior-friendly lanes with chairs available, slower pacing, and staff trained to assist older passengers. The catch? These programs are barely advertised. Unless you specifically ask, you'll never know they exist. Imagine Geraldine's relief the next time she traveled. Instead of squeezing into a crowded line, she was guided into a quieter lane, given extra time to organize her things, and allowed to walk through without the feeling that someone was sighing impatiently behind her. That small adjustment turned the most stressful part of flying into something manageable. The best part? Many of these services are free. Some airlines also allow you to pre-request assistance when booking online, meaning you can arrive knowing your security process will already be easier. If you prefer independence but want speed, programs like TSA PreCheck or Global Entry are especially valuable for seniors who fly a few times a year. They cost less than many assume, last for years, and can dramatically cut down wait times, No shoe removal, no laptop juggling, and far less stress. So the next time you face that long, winding line, remember Geraldine's story. Don't assume you have to endure it. Ask, request, and take advantage of the systems already in place for seniors like you. Airports won't tell you, but once you know, you'll never look at security the same way again. And stick around, because the next perk is one almost no senior even knows exists, and it could actually put cash or free tickets back in your pocket. Perk 3. Unclaimed airline vouchers and bumping opportunities. Most travelers groan when they hear an airline announce that a flight is overbooked. People sigh, roll their eyes, and hope they won't be the one left without a seat. But what many seniors don't realize is that this moment can be turned into one of the smartest opportunities in air travel, if you know how to handle it. Here's how it works. Airlines frequently oversell tickets, banking on the assumption that a few passengers won't show up. But when everyone does arrive, the airline suddenly has more passengers than seats. To solve the problem, they ask for volunteers willing to take a later flight. And this is where seniors like you can win big. Geraldine Maplewood learned this firsthand. On a trip from Chicago to Denver, she heard the dreaded announcement, "Ladies and gentlemen, this flight has been oversold. We are seeking volunteers." At first, she thought, "Oh no, this is going to delay everything." But when the gate agent mentioned a $400 voucher, a free hotel stay, and meal credits, Geraldine perked up. Her granddaughter's birthday wasn't until the next day, so she raised her hand. That single choice gave her a free flight she later used to visit her grandson in California, a trip she might not have been able to afford otherwise. Here's the hidden truth. Most passengers rush to get on the plane, so very few actually volunteer. That means the value of the offer often goes up, sometimes into the hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Seniors with flexible schedules are in a perfect position to take advantage of this. It's not just about money. Airlines will often provide free hotel nights, transportation, or meal vouchers while you wait for your rescheduled flight. The trick is knowing how to negotiate. Don't accept the very first offer. If they start with a $200 voucher, wait. The airline almost always increases it until someone agrees. You can even politely ask if hotel accommodations or meal credits are included, especially if the next flight isn't until the following day. And don't think this is just for US travelers. In the European Union, airlines are legally required to compensate passengers significantly when flights are overbooked or cancelled, sometimes with both cash and travel vouchers. Seniors flying internationally may be entitled to more than they realize, simply by volunteering or knowing their rights. Geraldine now sees these situations in a completely new light. What once felt like a stressful inconvenience has become a secret strategy to stretch her travel budget. Instead of dreading those announcements, she listens carefully, calculates her options, and sometimes walks away with the next trip already paid for. It's proof that with the right perspective, even an overbooked flight can be transformed from a hassle into an adventure. For seniors with time, patience, and flexibility, this hidden perk can be one of the most rewarding in the entire airport. And if you think that's surprising, wait until you hear the next perk, one that can make your entire airport journey smoother, safer, and far less exhausting, even if you've never considered using it before. Perk 4. Free mobility and escort services. One of the biggest hidden secrets of airports is a service that seniors rarely talk about, sometimes because they don't even know it exists, and sometimes because pride gets in the way. I'm talking about mobility escorts, wheelchairs, and those little electric carts you see zipping down the terminal. Most travelers assume they're only for people with severe disabilities. But the truth is, airports legally provide them for any passenger who requests assistance, including seniors who just need a little extra help. Geraldine Maplewood discovered this on a layover in Dallas. Her connecting gate was nearly a mile away, and after already walking what felt like forever, her knees began to ache. She considered stopping to rest but worried about missing her next flight. That's when she saw a woman about her age being whisked by on a cart, smiling as if the airport was her personal chauffeur service. Curious, Geraldine asked at the counter and was told she could have requested the same service, completely free, when booking her ticket or even at check-in. She couldn't believe she had been dragging her bag and pushing through pain all these years, when help had always been available. Here's the best part. Mobility assistance isn't just about a ride. When you request it, you're often escorted to the front of the security line, guided through boarding, and given extra time and care by staff. It's designed to reduce the stress of rushing, waiting, and carrying heavy bags. For seniors with arthritis, heart conditions, or simply lower stamina, it can turn an exhausting experience into a manageable one. And don't think you have to use a wheelchair if you don't feel you need one. Many seniors choose the escort service just for the guidance, someone to help navigate confusing terminals, lift a carry-on into the bin, or make sure they arrive safely at the gate. In some airports, golf carts are available to take you directly to your boarding area. It's not about weakness, it's about traveling smarter and protecting your energy for the trip ahead. This isn't just a US perk, either. In Canada, the UK, and Australia, passenger rights laws require airports to provide assistance to travelers who request it. The key word here is request. If you don't ask, they won't offer. But once you do, the process is often seamless. Geraldine admitted that at first she felt a little embarrassed to ask. But after trying it once, she never looked back. She realized it wasn't about pride, it was about making travel safer and more enjoyable. The energy she saved walking through the terminal meant she arrived fresh and ready for her trip, instead of sore and worn out. So here's the real question. Would you ever use airport escort services, or do you feel too proud to ask? Let's talk about it below. Your experience might encourage another senior to put comfort before pride, and that decision could make all the difference in how they travel. Perk 5. Medication and medical supply exemptions. For many seniors, one of the biggest worries about flying isn't turbulence or lost luggage, it's whether their medications and medical supplies will cause issues at airport security. The rules seem confusing, and nobody wants to risk having their important prescriptions taken away or delayed at the checkpoint. But here's the reassuring truth. TSA and most international airport authorities actually allow generous exemptions for seniors when it comes to medications, liquids, and medical devices. The problem is, very few travelers know their full rights. Geraldine Maplewood carried this anxiety for years. She always packed her prescriptions in small containers, terrified that if she brought extra, TSA might question her. She'd sometimes leave behind over-the-counter medicines she might need on the trip, thinking it was safer not to risk it. But during a flight to Phoenix, she learned she'd been limiting herself unnecessarily. After striking up a conversation with a TSA officer, Geraldine discovered that passengers are not only allowed but encouraged to bring essential medication in quantities greater than the usual 3.4-ounce liquid rule. The officer explained that as long as the medication is declared and separated at security, it will be screened but not confiscated. This extends far beyond prescription pills. Seniors can carry liquid medications, cooling packs for insulin, and even nutritional supplements in larger containers. Mobility devices like CPAP machines, portable oxygen, and glucose monitors are also permitted. In fact, TSA agents are trained to handle them with extra care and discretion. Knowing this gave Geraldine a huge sense of relief. She no longer felt like she had to sneak her medical needs through security. She could travel with peace of mind, knowing her health would never be compromised. The emotional difference was powerful. Instead of standing in line worried about what might happen, Geraldine felt confident. She even began carrying a small medical travel kit with extra supplies, ensuring she was always prepared on the road. That sense of security made her trips more enjoyable. She wasn't just traveling lighter in her bag, she was traveling lighter in her mind. There's also a financial benefit many seniors overlook. By carrying your own approved medical liquids, snacks for dietary needs, or even bottled water for medical purposes, you avoid paying outrageous airport prices. Geraldine once realized she saved more than $200 on a trip simply by packing the medical and nutritional items she needed instead of scrambling to buy overpriced replacements in the terminal or at her destination. So here's the takeaway. Your health is your passport to freedom. Don't let fear of airport rules stop you from traveling with what you need. Declare it, pack it clearly, and remember that the system is designed to protect your well-being, not punish you. And stick around, because Geraldine's favorite perk is coming up next, one that surprised her the most and saved her money in a way she never expected. Perk 6. Unused senior discounts on airport transit and parking. One of the most frustrating truths about air travel is that the journey doesn't really start at the airport. It starts the moment you leave your front door. And for many seniors, just getting to the airport is the most stressful and expensive part. Parking lots with confusing signs, shuttle buses with hidden fees, taxes that overcharge, it adds up quickly. But here's the little-known secret. Seniors over 60 often qualify for discounted airport transportation and parking, yet these deals are rarely advertised. Geraldine Maplewood, our retired librarian, experienced this the hard way. On a trip to Orlando, she paid full price for a long-term parking lot near the airport, almost $140 for a week. Later, she discovered that simply asking about senior rates at the same parking desk would have cut her cost nearly in half. That realization stung. After all, she spent her whole career helping people uncover hidden information, but in this case, she had overlooked a perk sitting right in front of her. From that day forward, Geraldine made it a personal rule, always ask. And that one habit has saved her hundreds of dollars. She's gotten reduced rates on shuttle buses in Denver, discounted airport express trains in Chicago, and even a half-price airport-to-city coach ticket in London. Seniors in the US often qualify for reduced fares on regional airport buses and light rail systems, but you won't find a neon sign pointing it out. You have to speak up, either at the desk, kiosk, or even when booking online. Sometimes the discount is hidden under a small concessions or reduced category. Across the Atlantic, Geraldine noticed a cultural difference. In the UK, senior concessions are often woven into the transport system itself. London's Heathrow Express, for example, offers reduced senior fares if you book online in advance, and regional buses frequently list OAP, old age pensioner, discounts. But in America, the discounts tend to be fragmented, available only if you specifically request them or know the right wording. That makes it easy for seniors to miss out. The emotional impact of this perk is bigger than money alone. For many seniors, the trip to the airport can feel overwhelming. Heavy bags, long rides, endless transfers. Knowing you have a reliable and affordable way to get there reduces anxiety before the trip even begins. Geraldine says that asking for discounts doesn't just save her dollars, it gives her confidence that she's not being taken advantage of. And here's the beautiful part, using these discounts also connects you with fellow travelers. Geraldine once shared a senior shuttle in Dallas with a couple traveling to meet their first great-grandchild. That conversation, full of laughter and shared tips, became one of her favorite travel moments before she even boarded the plane. So the next time you're arranging parking or airport transit, remember Geraldine's lesson, don't be shy. Ask. Because in travel, pride doesn't save you money, but curiosity often does. And speaking of saving big, the final perk might just be the most overlooked of all, a benefit that combines comfort, safety, and a surprising financial edge. Perk 7. Free cultural tours and airport experiences. Layovers. For most travelers, the very word brings a groan. Hours of sitting in uncomfortable chairs, sipping overpriced coffee, and watching the clock tick painfully slow. But what if I told you that in some airports, those wasted hours can be transformed into a mini-adventure, at no extra cost? That's right. Several airports around the world quietly offer free cultural tours, art walks, wellness classes, and even sightseeing excursions for passengers stuck between flights. And yet, most seniors never realize these opportunities exist. Geraldine Maplewood was one of them. She once endured a 6-hour layover in Dallas, passing the time by rereading the same paperback novel and wandering aimlessly between gates. She thought, this is just the price you pay for traveling. But on her next trip through the very same airport, she learned about the free airport art program, a guided walk showcasing Texas-inspired installations, sculptures, and murals spread across the terminals. She joined a group, met other curious travelers, and for the first time, left her layover feeling enriched instead of drained. And it's not just Dallas. Singapore's Changi Airport offers free 2 to 5-hour city tours, where transit passengers can see gardens, temples, and even Marina Bay Sands. Seoul's Incheon Airport runs cultural performances, craft workshops, and museum-style exhibits right inside the terminal. In Helsinki, yoga and meditation classes are open to weary flyers. Geraldine later told her friends, I used to think of layovers as wasted time, but now I see them as bonus travel, a chance to add an unexpected layer to my journey. The emotional shift here is powerful. Seniors often value depth over speed, not just rushing from point A to point B, but savoring the in-between moments. These hidden programs transform airports from stressful waiting rooms into destinations in their own right. Imagine walking off your flight not only rested but inspired, with a story to tell that most other passengers completely missed. There's also a financial benefit. Instead of paying for expensive food or lounge access, you can enjoy free entertainment and cultural immersion. Geraldine once saved nearly $60 by joining a wellness class and art tour instead of spending money on terminal dining and gift shops. And she gained something much richer: connection. A fellow traveler on the Dallas Art Walk shared stories about growing up nearby, and Geraldine felt like she had experienced the city itself, even without leaving the airport. So here's the big takeaway: airports don't just move us from one place to another, they can be part of the adventure. But only if we know where to look. And now I'd love to hear from you. Which airport experience would you love to try? Art, spa, or sightseeing? Drop your answer in the comments below. Because for seniors like Geraldine, the journey doesn't pause in the terminal. With the right knowledge, every layover can become another chapter in your adventure. When we first met Geraldine Maplewood, she was like so many seniors stepping into an airport, cautious, prepared, but also carrying hidden anxieties. She thought she knew the rules, but every trip felt like a tightrope, hoping she hadn't overpacked, worrying about security, dreading long lines, and quietly bracing for hidden costs. She was traveling, yes, but she wasn't traveling with ease. Now, Geraldine flies differently. After uncovering these hidden airport perks, her journeys feel less like battles and more like opportunities. She no longer drifts past lounges that could give her comfort, she walks in with confidence. She doesn't waste hours in lines, she asks about priority lanes and takes the faster route. She knows her medical needs will be respected, her transit can be affordable, and her layovers can actually become mini adventures. And when flights get bumped, she doesn't panic, she smiles, knowing it might lead to a voucher or even another trip to see her granddaughter. But here's the part that touches the heart. It's not just about money saved or perks unlocked. For Geraldine, these discoveries gave her back something far more valuable: dignity and joy. Airports, once places of frustration, have become gateways of possibility again. That sense of independence, of walking tall through the terminal knowing she has options, has reignited her love of travel. And that's the truth every senior deserves to hear. Travel after 60 should be easier, not harder. It should be about freedom, not fear. About connection, not confusion. These hidden perks are proof that adventure doesn't have an age limit. It just requires a little knowledge, a little courage to ask, and the belief that you still belong everywhere your passport can take you. So the next time you roll your suitcase toward a busy terminal, remember Geraldine's story. The journey doesn't have to drain you, it can empower you. And the difference might come down to asking the right question, stepping into the right lounge, or claiming a benefit that's been waiting for you all along. If this video gave you new insight, don't let it stop here. Tap like right now to let us know you found value, and share this with a friend over 60 who deserves smoother, smarter travel. And of course, subscribe to Senior Travel Adventures, because here, we believe adventure never expires, and neither should you. Before you click away, pause for just a moment and think about what we've uncovered together. How many of these airport perks have you personally walked past without even realizing they were there? How many hours, how much money, and how much peace of mind slipped through your fingers simply because no one ever told you? Now, imagine never missing those opportunities again. Imagine arriving at the airport not as a stressed traveler, but as a senior who knows the secrets, who walks with confidence, saves money effortlessly, and makes every part of the journey part of the adventure. That's not just possible, it's waiting for you every single time you travel. But here's the key, you don't have to figure it all out alone. Senior Travel Adventures exists for one reason: to make sure seniors like you are never left in the dark when it comes to smarter, safer, and more joyful travel. Every video is packed with the kinds of insights and hidden tips that transform your journey from ordinary to extraordinary. So here's my challenge to you. If this video helped you, even if it only gave you one new tip that will make your next flight easier, hit that like button right now. Not later. Not tomorrow. Because each click tells YouTube, this matters. Seniors deserve content made for us. And the more likes we get, the more seniors like you will see this advice and benefit from it. And don't keep these secrets to yourself. Share this video with a friend or family member over 60 who loves to travel, or maybe who's nervous about traveling. Give them the gift of knowledge. Because sometimes, the right piece of advice is the difference between a stressful trip and the trip of a lifetime. Finally, if you haven't already, subscribe to Senior Travel Adventures. Hit that red button and turn on notifications so you never miss a single tip that could save your trip, your wallet, or even your peace of mind. Because here's what we believe deeply, adventure doesn't come with an expiration date. You still have stories to write, places to see, and memories to make. And we're here to walk with you every step of the way. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe. Your next journey starts not at the airport, but right here, with a community that believes in you and your adventures after 60.